Now, if you look in a Bible dictionary, Remphin or Rephin from Acts 7:43 and Amos 5:26, you get chewing is rendered by the LXX, Rephin, and this name is adopted by Luke in his narrative of the Acts. These names represent the star god Saturn or Moloch, and that can be found in Hitchcock's Bible Names and Smith's Bible Dictionary. And then we also have Easton and Smith's. Easton and Hitchcock right here. And it says Remphin, Acts 7:43, and Chewin, Amos 5:26, have been supposed to be the names of an idol worshipped secretly by the Israelites in the wilderness. Difficulty has been occasioned by this corresponding occurrence of two names so wholly different in sound. The most reasonable opinion seems to be that Chewin was a Hebrew or Semitic name and Remphin an Egyptian equivalent, substituted by the LXX. This idol corresponded probably to Saturn or Moloch. The mention of Chewin or Remphin as worshipped in the desert shows that this idolatry was in part at least that of foreigners, and no doubt those settled in Lower Egypt. So we see Saturn. This is what, if you read Alexander Hislop's Two Babylons, called the hidden god. In Egypt, he was the hidden god. So you see the astrology again exposed right here in the Bible. And then we further see Hislop say, "We have seen already that the Egyptian Horus was just a new incarnation of Osiris or Nimrod." Now you see? Over and above the scourgings, and there were also slashings and cuttings of the flesh required as propitiatory rites on the part of his worshippers, and the solemn celebration of the mystery, says Julius Firmicus. All things in order had to be done, which the youth either did or suffered at his death. Osiris was cut into pieces, therefore, to imitate his fate, so far as living men might do so, they were required to cut and wound their own bodies. Then he links Saturn to Osiris and Nimrod. Butchered to make a Roman holiday. When it is remembered that Saturn himself was cut in pieces, it is easy to see how the idea would arise of offering a welcome sacrifice to him by setting men to cut one another into pieces on his birthday, by way of perpetrating his favor. Now let's take a look at those false gods that the Master Mason mentioned from my Webster's Deluxe Unabridged Dictionary, 2nd edition. And there's a part in the back that says a dictionary of noted names in fiction, mythology, and legend. Now let's take a look at those false gods that the Master Mason mentioned from my Webster's Deluxe Unabridged Dictionary, 2nd edition. And there's a part in the back that says a dictionary of noted names in fiction, mythology, and legend. So we're going to be getting two definitions for each false god. We got here Osiris. Osiris, the ancient Egyptian god of the lower world and judge of the dead, husband and brother of Isis. Osiris, in Egyptian mythology, one of the chief gods, the source of life and fruitfulness, the sum of all beneficent agencies, the creator and the god of the Nile. He was the father of Horus and the husband of Isis and sister of Isis. After he had been slain by his brother Set, the personification of all evil, aka Satan, Osiris became the judge of the dead, and his soul animated the sacred bull Apis. Thus, under this form, Osiris continued to be present among men. Mithras. Mithras, the ancient Persian god of light and truth, opponent of darkness and evil. Mithras, a deity of the ancient Persians, the benefactor of mankind and supporter of Ormuzd, generally regarded as a personification of the sun. Dionysus. Dionysus, in Greek mythology, the god of vegetation and wine, identified with the Roman god Bacchus. Dionysus, a Greek name for the god Bacchus. Bacchus. Bacchus, in Greek and Roman mythology, the god of wine and revelry, son of Zeus and Semele, earlier called Dionysus by the Greeks. He is said first to have taught the cultivation of the grape and the preparation of wine and other intoxicating liquors. Bacchus, the Greek and Roman god of wine, son of Zeus and Semele, in Greek commonly called Dionysus. And Tammuz, Nimrod's son, aka the sun god, because Nimrod was a sun god, or known as the sun god. And notice the stance with the two staffs in his hand, just like Horus or Osiris, because you're copying him. This is where the Ankh comes from. It's nothing more than the T for his name and the sun at the top representing him or his father. Or as they believe, he is his father. Tammuz, son of life, sun who rises. Now, keep that in mind for later. I'm going to touch up on that later. A Babylonian and Assyrian god whose supposed annual death and resurrection symbolize the winter and spring cycle. Or the second definition, the 10th month of the Jewish year, also spelled Tammuz. Tammuz, or Thammuz, a Babylonian god of agriculture and Syrian counterpart of Adonis. Adonis. In Greek mythology, a young man, loved by Aphrodite because he was so handsome, he was killed by a wild boar. Don't look at any very handsome young man. In Greek mythology, a beautiful youth, beloved by Venus and killed by a wild boar. The myths connected with Adonis are of Eastern origin, and he himself appears to be a personification of the sun.